So welcome back to another episode, and this is just some early impressions of a game that I should have played on the PlayStation 2, and that is Odin Sphere. And this is a remake, a reimagining of the game that was released on PS2 many years ago now. And it's so funny, what always grabbed me about the game was that it was, 2D, and all my friends were like, "You're gonna get it, right? You're gonna get it." I'm like, "Of course I'm gonna get it." And I just never did. I don't know what the hell happened. And maybe I read some early reviews and I don't really quite remember, but I never got it. And then I went to try to find it and it was nowhere to be found, in stores. And I didn't want to get a greatest hits version or anything like that. So I have no experience with the original Odin Sphere. But I've spent 17 hours playing this Odin Sphere on the PS4. And I'm going to give some impressions on it. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about some other Vanillaware games or in the series of games. Now, I remember back in the Saturn reading in Game Fan magazine about a great game called Princess Crown, which was kind of the beginnings of all of this kind of stuff. And it looked so beautiful. Let's just start with the graphics. Beautiful 2D graphics, RPG elements, and side view. It had everything that I wanted, but it never came out in this country. The creator of this also created Dungeons and Dragons. He helped do that as well. So he's in the family of this type of game. And then we got Dragon's Crown. Now, Dragon's Crown was really, in my mind, a successor to the Dungeons and Dragons Capcom game. But they took it beyond. It's got Golden Axe, real Dungeons and Dragons RPG elements. It had everything. I mean, Dragon's Crown is an incredible game, and I give Dragon's Crown around a 9 out of 10. It's so good. So that's that kind of family of games. Here's the one thing. If you like these types of games, side view action RPGs, gaining levels, buying equipment, fighting big bosses, 2D. If you like those types of games, you're going to love Odin Sphere. It's so funny. Sometimes you play a game. This is for me with this game. Sometimes you play a game and in the first hour of the game, you're like, I will finish this game no matter what. No matter what. No matter what happens, I will finish this game. And that's how I feel about Odin Sphere. I'm 17 hours in, and what happened is I was playing, this is a little story, I was playing the game, recording footage of it, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, what's that burning smell? And Kim was watching the game with me, and we're like, what the hell is that? And I looked down, and all of a sudden, as soon as I touched the capture device, it just went fucked up on me. I'm like, what the hell happened? So it seems that the HDMI in cord from the PlayStation 4, the inside of that, burnt out. I don't know why. It just... I can still hook up the component cables out, but I was able to grab enough footage of the first 17 hours to show you guys a lot of this. How should I start this off? It's not a review, but how does the game play? There's 5 chapters, which is 5 characters, and you play in order of these characters. So you start off with the Valkyrie at first, and you play her story, and all of these stories are interconnected with each other with great plot twists that I won't ruin. But that's one thing I'll say about the story. Usually the story for these types of games, they're pretty good, but there's a lot of really good twists, how everybody interconnects, and that was one thing that I was enjoying the story. I was watching it. I wasn't skipping it like sometimes I do, just to get to the next exciting area. I was reading the story and I was really into the characters. And it's really good, and you can switch to Japanese to English voice as well. So how does the gameplay work? So let's just say for the main character, our first character also, every character has a crystal on their weapon. And when you kill an enemy, you can drain their life force. It's like a little pink fluorescent thing that's floating around the screen, and you can pull it into your crystal. How do you level up? This is where the game is very different. This is very, very different. There's a lot of different ways. You can take those life points, those Phozon points from dead enemies, and you can use it just to upgrade your skill points in your character. So say your character has some different kinds of attacks, you can make those attacks stronger. So you can use them that way, or you also find nuts in the game. Yeah, and seeds. And you can plant them all. And then here's the weirdest thing in the game. This is so strange. You plant the seeds and then you use the Phozon points to go into the ground and make the plants grow. They will grow fruit or other things, other really strange things. And they will drop to the ground. You'll cut them down and then you will eat these things and you will gain experience from that. And it's a really weird way to gain experience. Another way to gain experience is by, gaining money in the game and finding a little character that will create, like a small restaurant for you in the middle of a dungeon, which is bizarre, at a rest area. And you give them money and items, certain items, and they will, create certain dishes for you. And by eating these dishes, they will help you level up. It's really weird, and you're collecting recipes without the game. And let me say, I hate alchemy stuff in games. I hate combining items and this to create something else. I hate that. But in this game, it's very, very simple. Like, the controls you pick up right away. The leveling system is a little bit of like, what? But then you get it right away. And leveling up, and then it becomes like, should I just level up my characters this way? Should I level up their skill points? There's a great amount that you can do, and there's a great amount of freedom with each character. So how are the controls? How is the combat? Let me just say that each individual character has their own individual weapons. Very easy to control, but they're also very different. They also can do many, many different things. I was so blown away with the amount of attacks that you could do, because you have your special attacks that you can level up using your Phozons. You have those which you can gain more of over time, the more Phozon points you start using. But also, your regular character has quite a lot of different attacks. There's a lot you can do. There's a lot of combos. There's a juggling. You can juggle enemies. I've juggled bosses at the top of the screen for quite some time. It's just awesome. I'm really loving the controls of the game. That's where it mostly is hack and slash. You're hack and slash and gaining Phozon points, leveling up, rinse and repeat, doing the same levels over and over. But it's very fulfilling. The gameplay all works very well together, from the leveling system to the combat, all the different characters, the different storyline aspects going on. I'm impressed with Odin Sphere. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it is. The one downside, I will say, it is very repetitive. So you'll be going through a lot of the same levels again with different characters, even though there's a different spin on it. But just know that going in, that you will be grinding some levels again. Their use of bosses over and over is used as well, but the bosses in the game are stunning. They are huge. They are well animated. Man, the music as well, it is fitting. It is not really in your face. It doesn't really stand out. It's perfectly in the background and works well for every stage. I'm really blown away by Odin Sphere. It has really surprised me. And these are just some early impressions. As I say, I'm 4 characters into the game. I got to do another character tonight, and I can't wait to get back to it. So, guys, what do you think of Odin Sphere? I'm loving it. Just absolutely loving it. So, anyways, guys, till next time.